name is Anesu M. I'm here in California. I've been here in California since January 2nd, 1986. I left Zimbabwe when I was in Form 5. Didn't do my AA because I was afraid to fail. So I came here for college. Did my AA degree in Pasadena, and then my bachelor's in computer science in Los Angeles. And I worked in the industry here for quite some time. My last job was with a company called, excuse me, I need some water. With a company called Amerinat. I worked there for 23 years until about 18 months ago when I left to be my own man.
Oh,
well, congratulations.
Yes, that's awesome. That is awesome.
23 years is a lot of years of dedication. I hope you got everything they owed you.
They didn't. No, I'm kidding. They did. Well, they were very nice to me. And I left because I wanted to leave. Really, the reason was because of COVID. My office was 40 miles from home, and the commute for 23 years, I was used to it. But then after working from home during COVID, they're like, come back to the office and all this other stuff that was going on. And we just agreed that I'm not going to go back to the office. I'll stay home and do my own stuff. And you know, I'm not upset at them or anything. They're not upset at me. I suit out some guys that work there, and I'm happy really doing my own stuff. I develop my own things, and trying to be a businessman. I've paid my dues to corporate America. I'm sure most of you have too. So,
well, yeah. Well, not yet. Not yet.
Not quite.
They're saying your volume is a little low.
Oh, yeah, it's my voice. So let me pump it up all the way up. Maybe speak up a little. Let me just close this screen here and see if this is better. Maybe the screen is not better.
Is that better, guys? Let us know in the comments.
Okay, I see a little heart there, so that means it's okay.
All right. Well, I mean, okay, so it feels like Sadza.com has been around forever, but you're saying you became an entrepreneur, you know, recently during COVID. Is that correct?
No. It's not correct. I've been running Sadza.com for the last 20 years. It's basically been a side, you know, gimmick for me. Mostly automated. So I've been running it on double screens and at work and at home in the evenings, weekends. You know, we all double up. We're all Jamaicans at heart. You know what I mean? So I've had several jobs at the same time, you know, doing this and that. I've been running Sadza.com since 1999, actually, when I started it.
Wow, that's a long time. Because I just honestly, I think I heard about Sadza.com a few years ago at one of the Zim Expos.
Really?
I'd never actually heard about Sadza.com when you were handing out your merch. That's when I was like, well, what is Sadza.com? And then I think there are people out there who don't know what Sadza.com is. So can you tell us what it is?
Sure, definitely. Well, when I started Sadza.com, it was because of my mother. I wanted to send her food, not money for food. My mother was a very religious person and was a very giving person. So you send her money. It was squandered one or the other. Makandiwa would get some of it and whoever. So I figured, how can I control that? So I figured, let me just talk to OK Zimbabwe and send money to OK. So mommy would just go pick up the food. And that's how the company was born. I made a platform, it's like a trading platform. I talked to OK Zimbabwe and they gave me the database of all their products. So they're on my website, all of their products. So you can buy for your parents. That could be in Zaka, Mashingo, Bulawayo, Gwerukoke, wherever in Zimbabwe. They just go to the nearest and pick up the groceries. And you pay through me. And then what I do is at the end of the month, I reconcile all the orders and I give their money. So that was the original concept of Sada.com.
Do you understand how big that is? You made your own Instacart.
Right.
Before there was Instacart.
Definitely. And that worked very well. But Zimbabweans, money and issues, I did not become a billionaire.
I'm telling you, because
it's coming though.
I'm waiting for it.
I mean, with Sada.com is not just that. So I'm guessing there's a lot of bucks coming in.
Yeah,
for sure.
One of the most interesting services that I'm giving now is medical aid. I work with a company called Bonvi Medical Aid in Zimbabwe. They have their own clinics all over Zimbabwe, but they also work with any private and public hospitals. So you can now pay for your parents' medical aid on installment here. When your parents are sick, they just go to the doctor and they get seen. And you don't have to worry about that midnight phone call that mom is not feeling well. And we also want to insist on people getting an annual checkup. So even if you are not sick, you can go to the doctor and get your baseline taken, get the doctor to know you. Don't wait until you gotta be wheeled in a wheelbarrow to go there. You go there when you're not sick, when you feel something abnormal and you get checked, and you are paying here for that service. And we're working, and it's very popular, and we are collecting service, payments from people in England, in Canada, in Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, the USA. So it's catching up very quickly. I think it's another way of assuring ourselves that the service will be available when it's needed. So now we have their own clinics, and they can now be able to upgrade their services. They can also be able to have the equipment ready for when you're sick, because they're getting monthly payments. See, in Zimbabwe, people pay when they get sick. So you can't plan with that. You can't plan with that. And for a long time, most people who had medical insurance worked for big companies that could afford to insure the employees. And we know that corporate Zimbabwe at some point wasn't doing so well. So there's no money going into the medical aid or to the hospitals, the clinics for X-ray machines or whatever required. So with this service that we are providing, people are now sending money on a regular basis, and they can budget and plan with that money so they can be able to be ready for the services when they're ready. Plus, also, they allow you for the two top-tier services. You can be treated in South Africa and Mauritius, if there's no availability of service in Zimbabwe or specialty in Zimbabwe, you can be flown out to South Africa for that treatment.
Oh, that is wonderful. That's wonderful. And forgive me if you've answered this, but can I live here in the US. Can I get, insurance and still be able to use it when I travel back home, or is it just solely for people who live in Zimbabwe?
No, it's funny you asked that question, because insurance does have age limits and people kind of age out. And the older you are, the harder it is for you to get insured. So I have some people actually here in the States that are actually buying the insurance for themselves because they plan to move back to Zimbabwe in 4 years or in 5 years, in 10 years, when they have aged out the normal policies. So you can always upgrade when you're already on the policy. So they're buying the insurance now, paying their regular payments, going through all the waiting periods. So when they go to Zimbabwe, either to visit or to move, they're already covered. They don't have to go through the application process all over again. So
okay.
So during COVID, how did the medical plan, was it helpful to people, or how did it go about?
That is when we started working with the Bonvi. But they did have free testing for members in their clinics. So they did allow people to go to their clinics to get free COVID testing Even for people that wanted to travel, they go get free COVID testing in their clinic. So that was helpful then, yeah.
Do you by any chance know if they have specific services for women as well? You know, like breast cancer screening and stuff like that.
Yes.
You know, because that's something that, you know, women are that we lack those services in Zimbabwe. So do you by any chance know if there's anything for us?
Yes, they do. And in fact, that's the good part about your question. If you are on medical aid, you can go to your doctor and talk to your own private doctor and request what you need from the doctor. You don't have to pay anymore. You know, so they do have a full scope of everything. Some services do have waiting periods. So like pregnancy, you need to be at least on the policy before you get pregnant, because they don't want you to just get on and give birth and get off. So stuff like that, there's some waiting periods. We encourage people that are on the policy to ask for the services. If they don't know what they want, talk to your doctor, because your doctor is supposed to be your friend. Now in Zimbabwe, we are afraid of doctors. We don't want, because doctors tell you things that make you sad. But you can prevent those things by being prepared and asking or looking ahead. Now, the younger people are more awake. They know what's going on. They do ask for pap smears. But the older people don't want to go to the doctor because they associate hospitals and clinics with death. So that's something we need also. Even like I've heard some children try to get insurance for their parents, and the parents don't want insurance. They're like, give us the money. You know, some people are actually getting insurance. Say, you know what? Don't really tell them until we need it, because I know I'm going to get a phone call, you know, that this is going on. So to avoid that phone call with $1,000 or $2,000 up front, I just want to pay in advance so that I don't get to deal with it. So it's an education thing. If we have services that we need the Zimbabwean youth or kids to ask for, like pap smears, which people don't normally walk around looking for. Dental,
right?
They do have dentistry and dental work and tooth replacement, surgery for teeth. They do have all those things on Bonvi Medical Aid Services. But you still see people working with 3 rows of teeth. You know, they don't want to go get the teeth fixed. You know, so it's good to ask for the services when you think you need them.
So if someone wanted to apply for the medical aid, where would they go?
Well, we do have a website, www.sada.com. There is a link there among other services that we are offering. There's a Bonzi Medical Aid link. You click on it, there's a link to sign up. There's all the data is there. The waiting periods are there. The address of the clinics and the services that we are available also on there. So once you go on the website, walk around it, there are more services, obviously, that are there besides Bonvi. But you can also contact me directly, and we can give you the white paper that have more of that detail. I can just send you a PDF, and you can research that yourself.
Okay. So my Coco Lipstick commented, we love Sadza.com and the Vakacha app. What is the Vakacha app, Mr. Manjengwa, the entrepreneur of plenty?
No, when I told you that I left my job at Amerinat after 23 years, I developed apps, computer apps. Some of my programmers are actually in Zimbabwe. So I did this app called Vakacha Visit Zimbabwe. It's a virtual tour guide, basically, that has a GPS built in. And you can play the app offline. So let's say you are traveling from Harare to Bulawayo. It's about a 5-hour drive, but you can want to make the whole day trip. So when you're driving and the app is on and you're going toward, let's say, Lake Makulwen or Lake Chiwero, the app will start telling you about Lake Chiwero when you get into the vicinity of Lake Chiwero and all the things that you can do around Lake Chiwero. So you can choose to take a break and go play with sea-doos, whatever, at Lake Chiwero. You can continue going, get to Snake Park.
No, I cannot believe
you are getting close to Snake
Park. But I was talking about Vakata Visit Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
So when you're traveling from, let's say,
You go to a snake park or whatever, the app will tell you where you are and what's there. At the same time, the app can tell you where you can find food, where you can find clean bathrooms, where you can find lodge for the night. As you go to Bulawayo. So even if you leave late, don't have to travel at night, you find a place that is really recommended for you to spend the night or to have dinner, what food is there on the route. So we mapped about 70 stop areas in Zimbabwe in the app. Vakacha Visit Zimbabwe. So we have Sinoya Caves, Mana Pools, Wange National Park. We have Rumba Mountains, like Great Zimbabwe. Anything you can think of that tourists would like to visit in Zimbabwe, even Zimbabwe like to visit. The data that the app talks about when you get there is very detailed. Took a long time to research, and the voice that narrates the data is, I think, if you know Banum Pariwa. Banum Pariwa, he's the guy that does Star Bright. It's your time to shine. Yeah, so he's the voice in the app, and the app also allows for pictures and videos, so you can kind of see in advance before you go there what you're going to see. And you can play the app offline before you go and plan your trip accordingly. That, okay, this will be 30 minutes, this will be 3 hours. You want to go, if you're in Harare, you can visit a lot of places that I didn't know were in Zimbabwe. I just knew there was airports, balancing rocks, that's about it. But there are so many things you can do in Harare that if you're a tourist, it's good to know. So that's the app, my Coco.
Wow. So first of all, it sounds like we need a Zim Ladies Round Table app. We need to talk after this, Mr. Manjekwa, because that's really incredible. But I'm upset that I had not heard about Vakacha app. Why have we not heard about Vakacha app?
Well, the reason why is because I'm a programmer more than a marketing person. So I'm not really good at marketing or selling. So most, like the other app that I did is a United Methodist hymn now, the hymn book for United Methodist Church. And the hymn now sat there for like 2-3 years without selling. And then once we started finding out, they've been, it's now selling more now because people are referring each other to the hymn now. When they go to church and they forget the hymn book, or they go to Mariro, to Batamawoko, they want to sing a song, they just end up just hymning. Because they don't know the words. So with that app, you can now just download the app and sing the words as they are in the hymn book, because now it's in your pocket. But it's selling now because it's selling itself. I did not broadcast in the world that this app is now available because it's on our website. So people that don't know about my website, like Miss Tino there, so will never have known about it because they don't know about my website.
I don't know if people understand the magnitude of what you've done. You literally have a Google Maps for Zimbabwe.
Yes.
On Google Maps, you can add things and you can add stops in this. I don't know if people get that what you've done. It's unbelievable.
No, thank you.
Even the food delivery, before we even knew of the food order, before it was even thought of here in America. It doesn't it's unbelievable.
No, thank you.
And we need to get this marketing together. 1980 T-shirt company says, does he have an IG page for the app we will promote?
Oh, thank you. I do. I can send that. I can communicate that with you. I have a link on my Vakacha Visit website. It's also from Sada.com, but also on AfricanVisit.com. So. That's the website where the Vakacha Visit Zimbabwe app is mainly resides. So there's more to it that I want to do if I find time, is to map the rest of Southern Africa, because people that come to Zimbabwe also want to go to South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, the whole area. So if I do the same for those tourists that come to this area, they may be able to understand Southern Africa more than they already do.
So still doing that too, yeah.
Now, there's one more thing that you didn't mention. You are a co-founder of Zim Expo.
Zim Expo, yes.
You want to tell us a little bit about that?
So we started Zim Expo in 2001. There's about 8 of us in the group, including Richard Chingombe, George Gundeni, Kwaya Ngube, a couple of other guys, Suku Ngube. Just as a way Zimbabweans who were interested in business to get together, and also have the social aspect of Zimbabweans coming together once a year, just to mix and mingle, talk, find each other, play football. A couple of years later, we incorporated the Miss Zimbabwe USA as part of Zim Expo sideline shows. So that also did very well for a long time. A couple of years later down the road, we went to UK and to Canada and also did Zim Expo. But then later on, we stopped UK and Canada before COVID. But people are requesting that we go back to UK and to Canada. So time allowing and the energy, we're getting old, right? So we may not even go back there. But the idea, Zimbabweans who want to be in business, they have a place where they can showcase their businesses. Now, Zimbabwean businesses in Zimbabwe that want to market to the diaspora can also come to the diaspora and showcase their businesses. So I think over the last couple of years, we've had companies from Zimbabwe coming over to the US to do that. And I think this past Expo, there was a bank that came to Zim Expo to sign up people to open up foreign currency accounts in Zimbabwe. So they came. So yeah, Zim Expo, we do also have a soccer tournament. People come out, they exercise, play soccer. We've had golf several times, among other things that we do. At Zim Expo, I'm sure some of you guys have come once or twice or 3 times, and it's very addicting to some people. A lot of parties. We also use the platform to introduce or to promote Zimbabwe musicians. Over the years, we have applied for visas for people like Killer T, Tammy Moyo, Pop 10, Winky D. The list is long. I mean, every year we bring 1 or 2, including Sandra Ndebele, Jazz Signal, Toki Vibes. And every year, I get requests from several people that say, put me on a billing for next year. And billing for next year, we don't have a capacity to bring more than 3 or 4 at a time. I wish we could. But it's a platform for the Zimbabwean artists to take their music abroad. We're also trying to work with some collabs with artists from Zimbabwe, with locals. So that's promoting our culture. Nigerians are doing a great job of promoting Nigerian music, and what's slowing us down, right? So we have a platform, Zim Expo, that we've used for over several years, and it has visibility and acknowledgement from the embassies, and the American Embassy in Zimbabwe will approve visas for people like that coming here as a cultural exchange program. So it's working for the kids here.
Okay, so obviously it sounds like this costs a lot of money, Anesu. Bringing artists, I mean, you're paying for flights, hotels, I mean, food, just the whole 9, and paying the artists. So are there investment on it doesn't sound like something that, just one man can fund out of pocket. So it is for people.
Yeah, they are there. The issue that we have had, in fact, is that the Zimbabwean corporate businesses have not been able to come here easily, over time, because they can single-handedly sponsor most of the activities and stop individuals or local businesses to expose themselves. Like I mentioned earlier, when we started, we had about 8 or 10 people that were sponsored Zim Expo, and a good number of them have fallen off. They've fallen off the page because they can't continue to sustain. Well, some of it is just the laugh of the people, the supporting your people, because if a Tammy Moyo was to come here and sort of bidding maybe $4,000, we may not raise that money at the door, trying to get money to, but we know that she may get the value over time, so we want to give her the value. So we go out of our way to do that. There are other activities that give us money, yes. We also do things like passport renewals, so, but at the end of the day, we've been losing money. We've been losing money at these expos. That's why we don't bring a lot of artists. We want to bring more, but the more we bring, the more we lose. But that's not the idea. It's supposed to be a business. It's worth to break even. At best, pay for your expenses, or if it takes home a couple $1,000. But we are not there yet. Our country has not been very conducive, or just like involving with foreign businesses, and they are. Right. They are not. It's not easy to come in pop shop. I'm gonna go to America and spend $5,000. They don't have it. They're struggling to pay their rent, and that's when we pay the employees. But we are looking for the corporate America to help sponsor. So and trying to see who can come in and participate and help us, because the vision is good, and it's a good thing. We don't want to stop doing it. We stopped Canada. We stopped the UK. And we want to stop USA. And next year we are thinking of going to Chicago, or I think Michigan and Detroit. So those are the two corners we are thinking of. But we are trying to see how early can we start, how can we get sponsorship, how can we get the communities involved, so that by the time the expo comes, we are not at the door fighting with a drunk Zimbabwean to go to a show. That's when I pay $40 to get in, because at the end of the day, Zimbabweans are just like that. We don't want to pay to get in. We'll fly. We can fly there. We can get a bottle of Anesu in our room for $50, but I don't want to pay $25 to go see a show.
So how can sponsors reach out? If they're sponsors, there's some people who want to, sponsor, because it's a cultural event, right?
Yes.
We're bringing, Zimbabweans together. We're showcasing businesses. We're, having business dinners. We have our models participating. I mean, the soccer tournament, it's a cultural event that brings, people together. How do sponsors reach out if they're, people with big money out here?
Well, we do have a website, zimladiesroundtable.com, or they can contact me. They can contact Dr. Taylor in Atlanta, or Dr. Ngobe, any of the Zim's current directors. But the best way is the website. There's an email that we can use, the info@zimladiesroundtable.com, and that email is broadcasted to the directors, and we will respond. We are very responsive to those kind of requests for sponsorship. So good for us.
I have a serious request.
Okay.
I need kuti zvikuremerei mumwoyo menyu.
Okay. Sure.
And personally, I need XQ. I need Takura for me.
Okay.
Please.
Just for Tino.
Please.
Tino, we actually this year, when we applied for the visas, we wrote visa letters for XQ and for Enzo. And they were given visas. But like I mentioned earlier, we can't bring them all at the same time. Even Takura has a visa too now to come to the US. So he does have a visa, so does XQ, and so does Enzo Ashao. They do have visas to come to the US. I think that visas are going to be valid just before the expo next year, but we can easily renew them if there are no violations in the meanwhile. But they did get a visa just before the Atlanta Expo.
So Memorial Day weekend, 2024. Save the date.
Save the date.
And you said either
we already know where Tino will be.
Don't go to Florida.
Or Florida?
No. We're gonna be in Chicago or in Detroit.
Okay.
Yeah, we are thinking, because at the same time we're also trying to do this in the back, like in the sidelines of that. We are trying to work more with what does Chicago want in Chicago from Zimbabwe as a country, and what does Zimbabwe want from Chicago? And in the meanwhile, if we can merge or put those lists together, we will pick the better city and go there for the expo. But the business is sliding down the line, and the mayor or the chamber of commerce and all those things will be involved in the import and export aspects of it.
Okay.
It will make it much easier for us, to maintain the business.
That's good.
Well, Tina and I will be at Expo.
in not a capacity of just attendees. We want
Zim Ladies Round Table will be at Zim Expo.
You want to have a physical face-to-face breakout session with all the ladies at Zim Expo. We can invite some people that you want to be invited, influential women, and you can open it up to some of the guys too to come up and just hear what the ladies are talking about.
Hey, we have an offer for a panel.
Thank you so much. We will get to it right away.
We will be there.
You are invited. It's a date.
So Memorial Day weekend, y'all. Zim Ladies Round Table will be hosting a panel at Zim Expo.
Yes.
Yes.
Do. Yep.
2024.
There you go. I'll give you the date and time and location later.
Oh yeah.
Memorial Day.
We would love to have you. We would love to have you, and so we can closer to the date, so you can let us know which artists are coming, so you can make Tino happy with Takura and XQ, so would definitely love to have you back. And Amai Coco over here says she's an influential woman, so she will be there as well. So
excited.
But we want to thank you so much, Anesu, for gracing us with your presence and just sharing what you're doing for the Zimbabwean community. It's absolutely incredible, and we're really happy to be a part of what you're doing, because we're a part of it now.
Yes,
by force.
No, you are welcome.
By force.
No, thank you very much, ladies, for having me on your platform. Thank you. Really appreciate the exposure talking to you. Like I said, I'm not a marketing person, but you guys asking me these questions, making me think about it and look at the big picture also, it kind of gives me the energy and power to keep doing what I'm doing. So I really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in Chicago.
Yeah,
sure.
Absolutely. Thank you, and thank you so much, everybody, for joining.
Thank you.
Tari says, especially with Takura, she's there. Amai Coco is coming as an artist. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the kind words, everybody. And we'll be back. Watch our posts. Watch Tino's page. Watch my page. Watch Anesu's page for everything that he's doing as well. So just stay with us. Stay with us, y'all. Stay with us.
For sure. Thank you so much. And guys, we have a new website. We'll start posting it. If you want to come on our platform, you can register yourself. For now, it's free. And you can talk about your products and whatever else that you're doing in life.